Hi, good morning. This video comes from a place of great appreciation and gratitude. We have reached 9,000 subscribers and I'm super pumped. I'm very goal-oriented and we're going to talk about that in the video. So reaching 9,000 was a goal and it really pumps me up. I was talking to Joe Deary this morning about it and he said, what do you think is what's the momentum? I said, well, historically, people either subscribe to my channel because of my legs or they unsubscribe out of guilt for wanting to see more of my legs. And that makes sense to me. Check this out. Look at this. See ya. I told you. All right, here we are at opportunity number 1 of 5 on the day. And we're talking about goals. I've often said that goals are the saddle that keeps me on the horse. Like I get real motivated by goals. And so I set lots of goals. On my phone, I have a whole list of goals. Like my whole notes app is just covered with what some would say is a to-do list, but like dozens and dozens. Everything I do is set out as a goal. And again, it's the saddle that keeps me on the horse. I tend to stay pretty well excited about life. And one of the reasons is because I set goals. So when I say that goals are the saddle that keeps me on the horse, what I mean by that is goals help me to stay motivated. They help me to stay excited. When I feel even the first hint of burnout, I just look at my goals, ask myself some hard questions. Why am I not reaching my goals? What can I eliminate from distractions that are keeping me from making my goals, reaching my goals? And when I do that, just the mere fact that I've diagnosed a problem is motivating. And I can see the problem, I can eliminate some things and get back to business. Get back to the business of reaching goals. In reality, the goal shouldn't be the saddle that keeps you on the horse. It should be that the outcome is enough. Like the result of putting in the work should be enough to satisfy. For example, if you're wanting to lose weight, being healthy should be enough. If you're wanting lots of money, providing for your family should be enough. If you're wanting to read through the Bible in a year or whatever, being spiritually healthy and being close to God should be enough. But I confess that that is often not enough. So maybe I need to work on that. Before we get to opportunity number 2 and discuss the importance of data as it pertains to setting and making your goals, I want to say one more thing along the lines of maybe the origin of goals. A goal without a date is nothing more than a dream. You got to set a date to your goals. For example, if you say, I want to lose 20 pounds, that's not motivation enough. You got to set a date to it. So if you say, I want to lose weight by my class reunion, that gives you something to shoot for. So don't forget that. A goal without a date is just a dream. All right, here we are at opportunity number 2. We're talking about setting goals, maintaining goals, breaking goals, and all that good stuff. At the last house wash, we were talking about putting a date to your goals. That kind of sets a foundation for certainty that you're at least going to honor the attempt to try. Let's talk about that. So here's something to remember. If you don't write it down, you'll never remember it. So anything written down can be remembered. It seems so elementary, so parochial, but it's absolutely true. And ask yourself, do I tend to remember the things that aren't in front of me? For most of us, the answer is no. And here's another phrase worth remembering. Anything measured can be mastered. And that's why we write it down, and that's why we keep data. Data, when trying to reach your goals, is hugely important, because otherwise, how will you even know if you're accomplished or not? Data is hugely important. I mentioned earlier that I have a notes app on my iPhone. It's just what comes standard with the Apple iPhone. And it allows me to put check marks, so to speak, beside those things that I have accomplished. Interestingly enough, I do not erase or delete those completed items until the end of the evening. Like almost every night before bed, I will go through my list of goals, the things I had hoped to accomplish for the day or the week or the month, what have you, and then I delete those things, because it's nice to go to bed feeling accomplished. I look at those things before I even go to bed and I say, wow, these are the things that I accomplished throughout the day. It just feels good to check those things off and then to delete them the night before. It also gives me an opportunity to look at what I'm going to be accomplishing tomorrow, go to bed with this assurity that not only do I have things existing in my life worth accomplishing, but based on the data, I actually can finish those things. I did it today, I can do it tomorrow. So here's a good example of how tracking data helps you greatly, in particular in the context of setting and reaching goals. One of my goals every year is to have a certain amount of opportunities or washes completed by the end of the year. And I track that not only on a yearly basis, but on a monthly basis as well. So I know, according to my data, that in March of 2023, I washed X amount of opportunities. And so I know if I wash that many in 2023, then I can likely do that again in 2024. So every month I look at that number from the year before and I track that. Well, where am I at in week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4? If I feel like I'm lagging a little bit, then I need to pick up my game. If I feel like I'm above my goal or beyond my goal, then I can relax. But I almost never relax, and the reason I don't relax is because I'm not a prophet. I cannot foretell what the next month is going to look like. And if I have a bad month, I will look back and regret wishing I had kept the throttle down the month before. So I never relax. Well, hey there, little feller. Hey there, buddy. Are you stunned? What's wrong? Did I stun you? Come here. Well, let's put you over here. There you go, buddy. here to wash this monstrosity, and it's pouring the rain. So let me take just a moment to finish this video. In our last wash, we were talking about it's lightning and thunder. Ooh. We're talking about the importance of analytics, knowing your numbers. It's vastly and vitally important to know your numbers. Some of you struggle with that because you just hate the idea of tracking all the information. It becomes funner when you realize that it pays off, that it really is important, and that by knowing your numbers, you're more likely to stay energized and excited about the business. And even if your numbers are in the negative, at least you know what to work for and what to work toward. So another example of something that I track is 5-star Google reviews. I know how many Google reviews that I need to get each month to reach my goal. Just like number of house washes, I track that by the month. I know it sounds goofy, but it lets me know from month to month that I need to really push my customers towards 5-star Google reviews. Those are just a few things. But you know what? I also track my callbacks. I'd like to think I don't get very many of them, but at the end of the year, I look back and I see how many callbacks I had, and this year I really want to improve on that. And so I know that I had 4 or 5 or 8 callbacks, whatever. This year, I want less than that. I really want to perfect my craft. And I don't really work with a spirit of perfection. It's more like a spirit of excellence, like Daniel the prophet. I have to look that up. But and speaking of Bible, someone's going to say, well, Mike, you should just be content. Just be content with whatever you have. That's biblical, and I love that. But it's difficult to know what you are hoping to be content with if you don't strive for excellence. So we strive for excellence. We really want to push the envelope to see what we can accomplish. And then we don't accomplish that, then we know what to be content with. And I'm going to be content with that. But if I don't strive for excellence, if I don't push myself for more, then I'm content with mediocrity. And I don't believe that that's godly. The Bible says godliness with contentment is great gain. So I set goals for myself, hoping, believing that God is behind it all. And if I don't reach that, then I settle on the fact that that is not what He wants for me. So I said all that to say this, and I'll close out. One way that we know what our idols are, the idols of the heart, and we all have them. We know what our idols are by how we react when they fall. A lot of times you don't even know that you're setting up idols, but you will know that that was an idol by how you react when it fell. So if becoming a millionaire is a goal, there's nothing wrong with it. But when you don't reach it, and you're angry, and you're frustrated, and you're mad, and you're discontent, that wasn't a goal, that was an idol. All right, I'm going to have to bust it. I've got this one plus 2 more. So I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell tab, leave a comment. All of that serves to help the channel. I'm super grateful. I'm Mike. They call me the Fresh Rinse, and I'm out.